And welcome, everyone. I'm Bill Newell. We have a full team with us here today. Phil Stacey, Matt Williams, Nick Giannino, and Nick Kukru from the Gloucester Times. Gentlemen, welcome. Great to see you all here in 2021.
Gentlemen.
Always a pleasure.
I love it. Well, let's get going here and find out. We're we got a week into the month of January, into the year of 2021, and sports have started up here on the North Shore for the most part, at least in full, kind of in a week or so in the next few days. But Phil, let me just start with you as the big guy here. What's happened here in the past week here on the North Shore locally?
Well, we've gotten a few more games underway, a few more teams starting to play. You saw Cape Ann League action begin, boys and girls hockey. Boys and girls basketball, I should say. So a little bit of hockey has been played. And Friday night, of course, the Northeastern Conference, some of those teams began playing. You had Beverly and Masco play each other. Cooks, was Gloucester playing last night? I'm not even sure, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they played Winthrop.
Okay. So things are slowly starting up. You have some hockey today. Bishop Fenwick's back after a little pause. They're going to play Austin Prep today. Peabody and Gloucester play each other in the home opener for both of those boys hockey teams. Peabody and Masco girls hockey begin play. So we're starting get a little more every day with teams playing. And I know next week Peabody boys and girls basketball begins. I want to say against Gloucester, Nick, is that right?
Tuesday, yeah. Yep.
Marblehead basketball will be starting against Masconomet that day. So, at this point, we are like most people, keeping our fingers crossed that as many schools can play these scheduled games as they have, and we don't hit any more pandemic pauses. It can happen at any time. I was at a game Thursday night and watching Essex Tech hockey play, and Mark Leonard said to me, hey, one down, hopefully many more to go. It doesn't even have to be your own team. It could be a team you're playing. And if they get a positive case or someone comes in contact or whatnot, both teams get shut down for a period of 10 days. So, it's anyone's guess. It could happen at any time. You hope that it doesn't. And it sounds cliche, and many people have already said it to us, and I'm sure you've heard it too, but you really have to play every day like it's your last and enjoy while you have it, while things are still going on. So hopefully that'll be the case, and we can get through this winter safe.
Hey, I'll let you other guys pick up on this, but Phil, did I catch you at a boys basketball game this past week at Hamilton Wenham?
You did, yeah. I was at a
strange times. Strange times.
It's like riding a bike. You get back over there, you get back in the swing of it pretty easy. But Craig Genualdo and his staff were terrific. Set up a spot for me far away from everybody else. Not that there was anybody else in there, really. Just the players, the coaches, a few HW folks. Hal Geary was one of the referees and his partner. Rosie Raymond had a spot set up where she could take some photos. But, Craig and Reggie Maidment and the people that were working over Hamilton did a nice job. And I got to see a good basketball game. So I like that.
Anyone else want to chime in on the past week at all? Nick?
Yeah, I had a little milestone moment in my area. Manchester Essex boys hoop. They started up Tuesday, 1-0, nice win over Linfield. It was the 100th career win for head coach Tim St. Laurent. He's been 5 years at Manchester Essex. He was at Rockport before then, so he's reached 100 career wins. So good for him. They made the tournament. I think the last 3 years. They won the Cal 2 years ago, so they're always in the mix. They'll probably be in the mix again this season too.
In 5 years, huh? That's pretty good. You play what, 20 games a year?
Probably more than 10. That's it. Combined Manchester, Essex, and Rockport.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
He was at Rockport for, I want to say, 7 years before he came to Manchester, Essex.
Because it's Manchester, Essex, your wins don't double because it's two communities, right?
No, not quite.
Oh, okay. All right. Fine. All right. Nick G.
More action. Yeah, I wasn't able to attend the Ipswich versus Newburyport basketball game, but they had it up online Facebook Live, and I was able to watch it that way and write up on it. So that was cool to get the Cal basketball action underway there. And Ipswich gave Newburyport a run for their money. It was a back and forth game. I think they ended up losing by about 10, but they were right there pretty much till the end. So Ipswich seems to be on the rise, which is good to see. They got some pretty big kids. I know Nikhil Walker did a lot of damage down low in his first game against Port. If he hadn't been in foul trouble, they probably would have been, a little bit closer there at the end. But some nice play there. And today, while we're recording this, I'll be at a game tonight as well. Beverly is going to get underway against Masconomet tonight. And like Phil said, and you said, Bill, earlier, a lot of these teams have started up, some haven't. Talking to Tommy Doyle over at Salem the other day, they haven't started up yet. They hope to get going Saturday with some tryouts and move things quickly there. But they're going to be getting tested every week over at Salem High. All the athletic teams, they'll be getting tested once a week. I'm not sure what the deal is at some of these other schools, but that's what I hear over at Salem. I know Danvers just got underway the other day. Like Phil said, Marblehead's been getting the ball rolling. So should be having some, getting in the swing of things with most of these teams here by next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, Nick, just to follow up on that, I spoke with Scott Connolly, the Salem athletic director, who says they're going to open up kind of neat for Salem or the Salem basketball community. They're going to open their season January 20th. That's a Wednesday. And they're going to do a home and home that Wednesday and Friday with Salem Academy Charter School.
Oh, great.
Scott and Drew Betts, who's the athletic director over at Salem Academy, great guy. They've worked it out. Scott's really appreciative that Salem Academy and their athletics has followed the same guidelines that Salem High School has done. So they haven't been practicing. They've been waiting to see what Salem High is going to do. So all of the Salem high school age kids are following the same schedule. So they're going to, the boys will play at Salem Academy 6:30 on the 20th. And then Salem High will return the favor and host Salem Academy at 6 p.m. on the that Friday, which is the 22nd. And the girls will be doing the same thing. Salem Academy girls at Salem High, 6 p.m. on the 20th, and then Witches at Salem Academy Friday the 22nd at 4:30 p.m. varsity start. So nice way for those schools to kick off what they hope will be a complete season.
And there goes our mediator.
That's quite all right. Hey, Willie, I know that you have girls hockey will be starting up aside from Bishop Fenwick, which has already played a couple of games. What's happening this weekend?
Well, we just got a couple matchups, I guess. We'll see what happens. A lot of new faces, some new goalies, some old goalies. So we'll see what develops. And one cool thing I think. Keep an eye on the Twitter feeds for all the fans out there, because there's going to be a lot of live action. People don't realize that a lot of the local cable outlets are streaming on YouTube live, right? So like you think, oh, I have to live in Peabody to watch Peabody Access TV. But if you look online, you can find the game. So if you're a visiting fan, there's a good chance you can get a live stream. Nick mentioned he got the Ipswich live stream the other night. So I think that's going to be something that's kind of cool. A lot of the gyms will have that. Some of the rinks might have the proprietary live barn deal that you have to pay for, but the free ones, that's kind of cool. You got to keep your head on the swivel there and check out the online listings, and you might be able to find the video feed of the game you want to see.
I know Marblehead basketball is excited. Coach Giardi was really excited about them. They got some pretty high-tech camera gear over there. He said they actually don't even need someone to sit and move the camera around. It just does it by itself with the game. So I'm guessing they're going to have some pretty clear quality in terms of streaming games there. Beverly probably with the Bev Cam too. So
they're probably borrowing the camera they use for football over there. And, sometimes they look at it during the middle of the game. I don't know if that's legal. I don't want to create a Spygate situation. We got Ernie Adams up in the booth there in Marblehead. So There's that.
But I know too, Kooks, that Brian LaFata, the Gloucester athletic director, sent out something saying that all of their boys' varsity and JV hockey games would be streamed live on their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. And they're hoping to also get some of those for the road too, for other schools that might be showcasing hockey games, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, Talbot Rink's kind of become a nice hub this season. I know it's kind of an interesting spot. I know Gloucester has three home games, not home games, sorry, three away games at Talbot Rink this season. I know
Right.
Marblehead, Beverly, and Danvers. So the game in Gloucester is not going to have any Gloucester fans on it, but I mean, it's obviously understandable. And these teams, especially like your Beverlys, your Salems, your Marbleheads, are kind of looking for a place to play. So it's good to see, Talbot Rink step up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Talbot did, Cronin Rink and Revere did, Larson Rink and Winthrop, Kasabuski and Saugus, Essex Sports Center and Essex. A lot of places stepped up for these teams that have been left without a home this winter. So that was good.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, maybe you could follow up on that, because I know we've talked about this in the past, but maybe share that background a little bit on that as well, because so many schools call Salem State home or Endicott College home, but those rinks are not available. So to put a little, support behind what Nick was just talking about there.
Yeah, and you could even throw Johnson Rink over at the Pengri School into that too. Hamilton Wenham uses that. Although I do believe the ice is going down there, and I think the Pengri teams, Willie, I don't know if you've been in touch with the Pengri girls or not, Jim McLaughlin, but I do believe they're going to be at least practicing with maybe the hope that they can get a couple of games in at some point. That's TBA, but yeah, Bill, get back to your point. No ice put down at Salem State this year because the Salem State University teams aren't playing this winter. Same thing over at Endicott. There's a chance that they might play in February, but that's up to the Commonwealth Coast Conference, which the Gulls women's and men's hockey teams belong to. So there's no ice there either. And they weren't letting people in regardless. So you're talking Beverly boys, Beverly girls, Danvers boys at Endicott, left without a place to play. Marblehead girls, Marblehead boys, and Swampscott boys left without a place to play at Salem State. And of course, the Hamilton Wenham boys team at Pengri. So it really was good to see some of these other rinks step up. I mentioned it in my Blue Line Report hockey column this week. It's not as simple, and this isn't to say, whatever, but like, it's not as simple as just saying, oh, we can't play at the Salem High Field House, let's just move the basketball game to Marblehead High School, or, it's a lot more difficult getting rinks because A, there aren't as many, B, the ice time that's available is so scarce between high school hockey, youth hockey, junior leagues, figure skating, public skating, if they have that available now, things like that. And the cost to rent a sheet to ice is expensive. It's a business. And especially when there's a great demand for it, people are going to be looking for a lot of money for that time. So it was great that those rinks were able to step up and make ice time available. And, not all of them are ideal, but you roll with the punches. I know Marblehead is playing a few Sunday afternoon games at Cronin Rink in Revere, and Sunday afternoon, aside from an occasional state tournament game or the state tournament finals, boys high school hockey for the most part has never played on Sundays. So you take the time that you have and you're thankful for it, and hopefully you get those games in. But kudos to those rinks. Well,
they won't be conflicting with any Patriot playoff games on Sunday afternoon this winter, January. Yeah.
No.
So
now, see, if we were back at our old podcast stomping ground of our previous office in Beverly, Willie could have had the tape there and he could have done the rip of the week.
Right, yeah,
that would have been the rip of the week. Yeah,
that would have been, and that would have been your first rip of the week, Bill. I don't think you've ever had one.
No, I've been pretty kind for the most part. Yeah.
You leave it up to the vicious ink stain wretches to do that.
I could rip something here, but that's just a waste of good paper, I think here. Right.
Yes. Right. So, right.
A little behind the scenes note here. Okay.
I wonder if that. What was on the blackboard in that old place where we did it? Was there like a Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It was like a hangman or something like that.
Well, it was just a happy Thanksgiving. And we had some X's and O's up there for football lines, right? For a while there
Yes.
that never got erased in that little room. That chalkboard is long gone over there now on Dunham Road, I believe. You know?
I'm guessing it, but
Yeah.
that Happy Thanksgiving had to have been up for what, Willie? At least a couple of years, right?
Oh, probably. Yeah, I probably.
For sure.
We had several hundred All-Star kids filter through that room for photos that probably saw Happy Thanksgiving in the middle of June and figured, what is this?
Right. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right.
There was a small room off of your offices in it were these green chalkboards right up on the wall. You could have like a mini classroom in there, I guess, right? But and there was some chalk in there too, which was
There was
enabled
some
us.
chalk,
Yes, yeah. But and there were 2 chairs, if I'm not mistaken, for the most of the time, or 3. But
Yeah,
whatever.
with one of those like 1930s school desks in there.
Yeah,
too.
that was cool. That yeah.
Put
The
the
middle,
recorder
it was
on.
a junior high desk. It was no
Yeah.
bigger than one of those kids. Yeah. So those were the days, I'll tell you.
Those were the days. You're right there.
No,
Hey,
but
speaking of no Patriots in the playoffs, it is starting today. This super wild card weekend or whatever. Any thoughts, boys? Upsets? What do you think is going to happen this weekend?
I think the 2 teams who aren't playing are the ones who are going to be in the Super Bowl. It's going to be a huge advantage.
You like Green Bay coming out of?
Yeah, I feel like that, home, I don't think home field advantage is a big deal this year, but I mean, when you're playing, 5 degrees in Green Bay in front of nobody, I feel like it's going to be kind of tough for an opponent to go in there.
Unless Eli Manning comes out of retirement, right? Nick, do you like any upsets this weekend? Who did you pick for an upset, actually?
I didn't pick. Actually, when I filled out the surprise section as no real surprises. So.
Oh, you did? Okay. I don't know. You know, it's probably crazy. I still think the Browns can beat Pittsburgh, and it doesn't make much sense without their head coach and some of their other assistants being out with COVID. But I just feel like the Browns are playing a lot better, and the Steelers are in a free fall. So I could see that happening.
Yeah, I had the Browns as well, but I don't know. It's seeming less likely now. I guess they're able to practice Friday, though, for the first time all week. It's crazy that they haven't moved the game. I figured they'd move the game to like at least Sunday or Monday, right? Just to give those guys an extra couple days of practice, but I guess they don't want to.
Good element.
Playoffs, I guess.
Yeah.
Bill,
what do you think?
Yeah. What's that?
Well, I was asking Bill, what is his take on all this?
I don't know. I'm just sitting back rooting for Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Look at the Bucks, right?
Okay.
But
I'm all for it.
Did any of us pick Washington to beat Tampa Bay? I don't think so.
I don't see that happening.
Stranger things have happened, but it would be
Although our paginator there, John O'Neill, seems to think the Washington D's going to come to play, shut those guys down.
I think they get Brady and make them uncomfortable. I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with them, though. But I don't think Brady's going to light the world on fire. That's a pretty legit defense, and they can get after him. But I don't know if they're going to have the offense to keep up. I mean, Tampa Bay has so many weapons; they're going to score.
Oh, and the problem is Washington is going to be rotating quarterbacks. I mean, they don't have much consistency on offense under center. Same thing with the Rams, really. I don't think the Rams know who's playing. That would be a great game if you knew, say, like Jared Goff was going to play. But he's got, a broken thumb, I think. So you don't know who's playing there. If, can the Rams defense, as good as it is, hold off Seattle for 4 quarters? I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it.
Seattle's not exactly coming in hot, though, either. They've been a little shaky in recent weeks. So that's an interesting one, I think, for sure.
Yeah,
Billy, what do you think? You're quiet down there.
Team Seattle might have peaked too early. I think if I had to pick a surprise, I didn't put it in the paper because I didn't think of it ahead of time. But I think surprise could be Gronk, right? I mean, here's a guy that maybe they have saved for this point. I think the only time in his career that Mahomes has lost a playoff game was really because of Gronk, right? So watch out for Gronk. I think, when you ask Gronk to do his thing for only 3 games here. I mean, Brady only needs to hit him up that seam for a couple of key first downs. You still can't cover him. And last time Gronk was on the field in the playoffs, I think we saw that in a big way. I mean, he basically won that Kansas City game in overtime, and he basically won the Super Bowl against the Rams with that big catch to set up the touchdown, right? So I think people kind of forgot about Gronk a little bit. Maybe he'll be the big surprise here over the next couple of weeks.
I could see, I didn't pick this, but I could see a scenario in which the Bears go into New Orleans and beat the Saints. I really could. I think the Bears have a decent defense, and David Montgomery has been on fire over like the last month and a half. Thank you, fantasy football title. But he's been scoring like a touchdown a game for like the last 6 weeks. And I don't know, I for all the weapons that New Orleans has, I don't see Breeze leading this team to a title. I just don't. I'd feel better if they had Taysom Hill playing quarterback, to be honest with you.
No.
Will Michael Thomas catch a touchdown? That's the real question. I don't think he has a touchdown this season.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Although Kamara is supposed to be back and playing, right?
Yeah.
I think they just don't have a rhythm. That's the problem with the multiple quarterbacks and changing things around. I mean, they just, Kamara is their best player, and when Hill's in there, he doesn't get involved. I mean, that's just a mess. Like, I think they're just out of rhythm, and it's going to be hard to get that rhythm back. And we've seen them have plenty of playoff flops over the years, right? I mean, how many times have they been sort of favored to make the Super Bowl and haven't been back, right? Since the one that they won, which was, 15 years ago at this
12
point.
years ago, yeah. So.
12 years now.
2000 and, oh no, yeah, it was 2000 and what, 9 or
9,
something?
I want to say.
Yeah, so 12, yeah.
I think it was.
I mean, it's, they've kind of been, they're in the Packers too. I mean, that's the thing, like Green Bay, since they won that first one, they've lost in the conference championship a couple times, but they've never been back and always seem to kind of flop. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are some surprises, huh? So how about that?
Yeah,
Well, it does seem like
for me. I feel like, the top 4 or 5 teams, the Packers, Saints, Seahawks, Buccaneers, and, to a lesser extent, the Rams. I could see all 5 of them going to the Super Bowl and all 5 of them losing the first game.
Yep.
They've all had their moments both ways.
I do think the Chiefs and the Packers would probably be the most compelling Super Bowl matchup. And it sounds crazy to say from us here in New England, but, there's something about this Bills team. I could see them. I'm not saying they will by any stretch, and Kansas City would certainly be favored at home over them. But would it shock any of us with the way the Bills are playing if they made it to the Super Bowl? I mean, yes, to the Bills. So it's like, yeah, they're not going to make it. But if you take out that, like, great, what was it? Kyler Murray to DeAndre Hopkins miracle throw there. If they don't lose that game, they've won, 10 or 11 games in a row heading into the playoffs? I mean, they're on fire.
Their other 2 losses, too. They got a Titans game moved into Tuesday, and I think they were going into the day before the game, didn't know if they were playing on Tuesday or if they were playing the Chiefs on Thursdays. Then they lost that one to the Titans and then lost to the Chiefs on a short week. So, I mean, they kind of had, 3 fluky losses, not fluky, but weird losses, weird circumstances.
Well, they're not just winning, they're destroying people. I mean, they dropped almost 50 on the Patriots. Then they go into a game that doesn't mean much to them. And Miami desperately needs to win to make the playoffs. And they drop 50 on them. So, I mean, you talk about peaking at the right time. Like we said, Seattle and Pittsburgh peaked too early. This Bills team's peaking at the right time. And if they have to go to Kansas City, which is one of the hardest places in the league to play, but there's no fans there, then maybe everything is lined up for them. And this is why my pick was the Bills against the Buccaneers, because those poor people in Buffalo finally think it's their time. They got rid of Brady, and then there he is waiting to ruin their lives one more time at the end.
Nice.
All right, so show of hands. Bills and Chiefs in the AFC title game. Who's rooting for Buffalo?
Guess I would go for him. Why not?
Yeah, and that's crazy, right? I mean, I used to consider the Bills like a little brother, like, get out of here. Like, you're not serious. You're not going to beat the Patriots.
Well, they were the big brother for most of your young fandom, right?
For mine?
I remember them being good. Yeah, exactly. For me, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember, right, the Kagan and Thomas and Bruce Smith. Yeah, of course. But even before that, when they had like Joe Ferguson and Joe Cribbs and guys like that, and James Lofton, they were good then too. Not as good, but but for 20 years, I'm saying they've been like an afterthought. You don't even think of them, take them seriously. But this team's for real, and they're fun to watch.
It seems like years ago they got a running back once who used to play for the Bills. The Patriots did. I said, "Oh wow, that's great. We got somebody from the Bills." Right. I don't. It's so long ago. I can't remember who that was, but yeah.
Was it Antoine Smith?
Yeah, Antoine Smith.
Was it?
I think it was Antoine Smith. Yeah, he was on the first Super Bowl team. I don't know. I just think not the take away the fact that the Patriots and Kansas City had a rivalry. I mean, Kansas City is a great team. I mean, they could very easily win the Super Bowl and have one loss this year and be considered, honestly, among the best teams of the last 30 years. I mean, they're a wagon. Mm-hmm. But it would be fun to see them lose. And if Buffalo's going to be the ones that do it, I'm fine with that.
I mean, going back like in the salary cap right here, I mean, the Patriots are the only team that's won back-to-back Super Bowls, correct? I mean, so Kansas City would be making history if they managed to win it. I don't think anybody else has been there and won it. And the only team that's even gone back-to-back is Seattle, right? And Brady ripped their hearts out.
No, actually. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm thinking
not the late 90s Broncos, but after the fact, they were kind of cheating on the salary cap. No one seemed to care. But
the Rams too, right? Or did they go 2 and 3 years?
2 and 3, yeah. They went 2 and 3.
Yeah. Every team that goes back to back cheats somehow, so we'll have to wait a few years to see what the Kansas City scandal is going to be.
Yeah. Andy Reid said he was eating range-free chicken, and it was actually just regular chicken. That'll be the
salary cap violations at the Cheesecake Factory, maybe.
Yeah. Well, these Chiefs are a little bit like, and this isn't sacrilege to say, but it's like when the Patriots won back-to-back in 03 and 04. This is kind of like the Chiefs 04 season. They're better than they were the first time they won the Super Bowl. I think they're a better team than they were last year. They're completely well-oiled. We'll see how they do without Edwards-Helaire in the playoffs. I mean, Bell's good to go, I take it. But,
I mean, don't tell the beat writers this, but I mean, let's face it. Kansas City's a coin toss away from going for its third straight, right? I mean, because if Mahomes gets the ball first in that championship game, see you later, Patriots.
They were past the point of stopping him in that game. He was an unstoppable.
I think they would have blown the Rams out of the water. That's just my thought. But so
their defense was a joke that year, though. Now their defense
they got Eric Berry, right, and Honey Badger there. Not Eric Berry, but Honey Badger became the new Eric Berry, I should say.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Chiefs and the Rams, I always remember the middle year from when the Rams, Nick, you mentioned them going to the Super Bowl, when Dick Vermeil, I think, was coaching the Chiefs at that point. He went from the Rams to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs were like a so-so team at that point, but they blew out the Rams. Priest Holmes had 4 touchdowns. He got hurt. Derek Blaylock came in and scored 4 touchdowns himself. It was like the only time in NFL history they've had a team with 2 running backs score 4 touchdowns. Kind of crazy. Anyway.
Well, there's so many things I could follow up on, but we maybe have 1 minute, 2 minutes tops at left in this. But I'm thinking, with the way the Chiefs have been playing and they have the experience, and the way this the COVID stuff has kind of interrupted so much rhythm and momentum for teams, I would think, getting set for their games, that maybe they are the odds-on favorite here. Who knows? Yeah,
they're the easy pick.
What if there's a COVID case in Kansas City on Monday?
Well, yeah.
What happens then?
It's kind of remarkable we've gotten as far as we have, considering where we were, what we were thinking in the fall here. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, NHL is starting up on Wednesday, and we already heard of some games being pushed back for one of Willie's favorite teams, the Dallas Stars. They had like 8 positive COVID cases there between players and coaches, so they're pushing back the start of their season 6 days. So we'll wait and see what happens there.
Stuff going on with the Celtics today, right? I mean, they got some positives or false positives or something this afternoon, I think.
Yeah, Tristan Thompson, he's got a quarantine for 7 days, I guess. And I guess Robert Williams got it too. So I don't know what the protocol is going to be in the NBA because, it's a little bit different in the NFL when you have a positive test or something, you get that whole week to kind of figure things out. But in the NBA, they might be playing the next day or have a day off and then go. So it's going to be
Well,
interesting.
you only got 14 guys or something. The Saints lost their entire running back room and had to play, right? Because they had some extra guys. You got 50 guys. It's easy to sub, but
Right.
you know.
Hey, Celtics, all I say is Pritchard equals banner 18, baby.
That's it.
Gentlemen, we're out of time. Great seeing you again this weekend, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Bill.
Sounds
Have a
good, Bill.
weekend.
Thanks.
Well,